Hi, my name is Carol Loescher, and I want to share with you my call to the mission field. I believe my call started in the top of a tree because when I was young, I used to climb a poplar tree and there I would pray to the Lord. I remember telling the Lord, wow, you have done so much for me. What could I do for you? And it occurred to me that I could serve him as a medical missionary. No, actually just as a missionary, and that became a lifelong dream. I didn't realize at the time that when my mother was younger, she had reason to believe that she was infertile. And she had prayed and told the Lord that if he gave her a child, she would devote that child to him. And so in a sense, I was born a debtor because I was that child. As a child, I did not know any medical missionaries. I did not know any missionaries, but I had a friend and her family prayed for a lady named Rebecca Nahor. Rebecca Nahor was a surgeon and a missionary. I think the Lord put that similar desire in my heart because even as a child, I was interested in medicine. I found a frog one time that had been run over by a car. I got a plastic knife. I didn't think using a good knife out of the kitchen was wise, and dissected it to find its heart. So that was probably my first surgery. I went to Clemson and applied to the pre-med program. The director there looked at me and said, "Why do you want to waste your life?" Well, I didn't consider it a waste at all. In fact, when I got to Clemson, I framed a verse and put it beside my bed. Psalm 37:4. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. I felt that he had given me the desire to be a medical missionary, and he would realize that. But it wasn't always easy, and the Lord proved to me in many ways that it was his doing and not mine. For one, I don't have a great memory, so I had to work really, really hard. And then another illustration, in order to get into medical school, I had to be interviewed by a local physician. The school chose for me to be interviewed by a surgeon in Spartanburg. Unfortunately, I missed my interview. I mistook the day. I was crying so hard on my way home from that potential interview that I could hardly see the road. I chastened myself and asked the Lord, why? Why would you let me forget something this important? When I returned from that to the next interview, having been a no-show before, the surgeon wasn't overly pleased and he seemed a bit cold. He asked me why I wanted to go into medicine, and I thought of that academic dean at Clemson. Yet I told him the truth. I want to be a medical missionary. Then he said, "Do you know any medical missionaries?" It seemed rather foolish to admit I didn't. And I thought back about Rebecca Nahor. And I said, well, I know of a medical missionary, and her name is Rebecca Nahor. At that point, his demeanor really changed toward me. And he admitted, he said, "Rebecca is a close friend of mine, and I have operated with her side by side in India." So I think that Rebecca Nahor helped me get into medical school. And I know the Lord proved to me that he had done so. And so being a medical missionary to Africa and now to other countries has been one of the highlights of my life. If the Lord were to give me 100 lives, I would ask him 100 times, please let me be a medical missionary for you.